Hi, and thanks everybody for joining this Tech Talk session. This is episode number 12. It's our final episode for 2023. I am Joe Rafanelli. I am the Director of Technical Solutions here at Macrosoft. At Macrosoft, we are your customized software solution developers. So what we do is we migrate old applications to new. Some of the designations of the coding that we migrate is VFP. We'll do Visual Basic, and then we do also ASP legacy applications. Super excited here to invite or to introduce Venkat. He's one of our QA leads who ensures quality for our clients. Um, Venkat, welcome, and go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. So I'm Venkatraman Rajaram, and I'm working as a senior team lead in Microsoft since February 2013, and have 14 years of experience in IT, and have lead and delivered many migration projects with quality. And I got many appreciations from the client side for the quality work which we have done for them. And I have expertise in functional testing, non-functional testing, automation testing, and in automation, I have experience in both UI and backend, along with the desktop application tools, as well as have experience in performance testing as well. So yeah, so I am a ISTQB certified professional, and yes, yeah. So we are excited to share my insights in our tech talk. Thank you.
So you're definitely the right person to talk to about quality assurance unleashed, right? So that's the whole topic for today. So let's
Yeah.
start
Yeah.
off with because you got a lot of years of experience, like you had just said. What are like some basic challenges that you face when you're doing quality assurances for our clients?
Yeah, so actually, we are dealing with migration projects, so which we have received only the legacy application from the client, and we will not receive any user stories or requirement documents from the client. So we need to dig into the application, and we need to get the functionality, the core business logic, and we need to create a test cases based on that. So that is one big challenge for us in this migration project. And second thing is like sometimes due to this old application, there will be a change request, then the requirement may be changed. So we need to have this to be implemented in a short span of time. So that is again a challenge for us. And the third thing is like that we need to compare like to like application. They want the legacy, how the legacy is working, the same thing they're expecting in the modern application. So we need to implement that as well. So that is the 3 or 4 challenges we have. So due to this, there may be a communication gap between the developers and QA. So we have the streamlined process that can ensure these challenges.
No, that makes perfect sense. Knowledge transfer is always key to success. So
Yeah.
when you're doing, so there must be a process, an overall process that you follow, right? And then we take it from there. So maybe share the overall process with the group here, and we'll take it. We'll kind of take it from there.
Okay. So I will share my screen then.
Sure.
So let me share my screen. Yeah. Okay. So this is a simple high-level flow chart which we have created for our migration project. So this is the SQA process flowchart, which you are seeing here. SQA is nothing but a software quality assurance process flowchart. So here, for example, let's say we have initiated, for example, the project has been initiated, right? So once that has been initiated, we'll sit together with the BA and we'll understand the requirements and we'll put all the documents in our templates. And for example, let's say we have any clarification, so that we will check with the corresponding BA. If they're able to answer, then we will make it note down. If not, then we will send the clarification to the client itself and get clarified. And all the documentation has been shared in the centralized repository. And once this has been completed, we will go for the next level, which is creating a test plan. So in this test plan, we have all the strategies. What are the testing? What are the functional need to be covered? What are the non-functional testing need to be covered? What are the tools we need to use? All kind of strategies will be defined in the test plan, and that will be shared to all the teams, all across the teams, which is nothing but development team, QA, business analysts, stakeholders, and even client as well. So once that has been completed, the next step is test bed preparation. So here our requirement is freeze. So what we will do is we will create a test cases. and we will create a requirement traceability matrix as well. So in this, for example, say we have the requirement for one requirement, there will be 10 scenarios, and for 10 scenarios, there will be a number of test cases. In that case, we will cover all the test cases here. And again, we have a peer review. And if we have any clarification, that will be sorted out in this cycle itself, and then we will go for the test execution phase. In that, we will receive the build from the developer, we will execute the build, and if you found any issues, we will log them in the bug tracking tool. So mostly we are using test management tool, which is test file we are using Jira, and we are using other AI tools. Also, we are using latest technologies. We have Bug Asura, which we are using latest, and once this cycle has been testing has been completed, we will send a sign off to the development team as well as the project management team. And once this is completed, the developer will send this to the client UAT, and client will start testing. And if any issues reported by the client, so we will test, and if it is a really a issue, we will fix them on the fly and test, and we will send to the client directly. And if there is a change request, then we will sit together with the BA, and we will check whether what is the changes is there. If any change request is there, then again the BA will change the document based on they have created. So again, this cycle will be goes on here. So this is the simple flow chart. Once we completed every single bug resolved, we will deliver to the client and for the project sign off. So during that, we will send the release notes, all the project documents, which is test case document, release notes, and sign off templates, documents, everything we will send to the client. And then developer will push the code to the production environment. So this is a simple flow chart. So this will streamline the process and reduce the bugs and the communication gaps which we have with the developers and VA. So since we are all on the same page.
No, that was
Okay.
great. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that slide. Hopefully that helped folks provide some clarity for the folks that joined this call. So I'm sure we follow those steps to a T. Um, are you using any tools to assist with your quality assurance process, either AI tools or not, or both?
Yes, for regression, we are using the automation tools. I will share my screen again.
Okay,
So
I see.
for AI, for example, for the UI, we are using Selenium WebDriver, Cypress, and Catalan. So for these are used for the UI automation, and for backend we are using the assured automation, and for desktop we are using Visual Studio Microsoft Test Manager as well as the Test Complete. So Cypress and Catalan, these are open source, but the Test Complete, these are paid one. And for the performance, we are using a JMeter as well as the load runner. So these are the tools we are using. Apart from that, we have implemented Code Auto, which is our Microsoft developed product, which will help us in QA as well. That I will show you a simple demo. Okay, so for that, I will just share this with you code. For example, right now I need to create a Selenium script for a login screen. So I will just create a simple prompts here. Create a Selenium test for a login screen using this 10G framework with the test data I can provide, if not user ID, record, and password. 1, 2, 3, and page object model. Okay, so this is a simple prompt I have created. I just typed, and I'm going to right click on this. And this is our code auto. We need to import in the Visual Studio Code. And after adding this in your library, this will be the list you can see here. And here I can go, for example, you can see ask code auto, a lot of things we have. So right now I'm looking into this, convert this particular prompt into a Selenium test. So I'm just clicking this generate Selenium test. So automatically our code auto will create test scripts here so that we can utilize in our Eclipse or IntelliJ, whatever IDE we are using. So this will create the login page as well as you can see this one. So whatever the test data I have created, so automatically that has been created here. So I can just copy and I can paste in my whatever I give. If I'm using IntelliJ, I can use that, right? So also for if I, this is a Java code, right? So if I want to convert that into our C sharp, then it's simple. We can just go, I click and copy and just again just ask for the code auto solution. Okay, code convert, generate C sharp code. So code, I'm just having my Java code. If I'm a C sharp automate tester, then I can just click on this one. So automatically this will convert that into C sharp code. So this is one thing. Yes, likewise we can utilize this code auto in our day-to-day activities in QA. And apart from that, we are using the AI bug tracking tool. That also I will share with you. Okay. So okay. So for example, this is the Bagasura. So here we need to, this is a paid tool. Bagasura is a paid tool. Okay. So here we need to upload the user guide or the requirement documents, whatever have the necessary project documents we need to upload here. Then, for example, let's say I have a bug. So I just click on this add issue and I can just simply type null pointer error occurred in the login project. And just click on tab and automatically the description will be filled out based on the summary. So this will effectively reduce our time in creating bugs because we may enter a numerous number of bugs in our day-to-day testing, right? So this is very useful for us. So I just want to share this as well. And here you can see I'm just added a summary. You can see the tags have been added. This is user input, login module, and pointer error. If you want, you can add more tags over here. So we can the same thing which we have using in the Jira or test file, whatever the bug tracking tool you're using. So here you can attach the image or video, and automatically the device system details will be popped up here. So whatever I'm using for our testing. So this is our AI tool which we are using in Microsoft. Yeah. So thank you. I think we got
Okay,
some.
thank you. That looked amazing. Thanks for sharing the demo. I'm sure we'll do another session on AI tools when it comes to QA because I'm sure folks are interested in that. But just to keep the conversation going, so once you get through all the QA processing steps which you showed us, how does Microsoft or you personally handle the regression testing piece?
Yes, for regression, we are using the automation tools. We are making use of the automation tools. For UI, we are using Selenium, Cypress. It's all related to the client requirement. If the client wants any open source, then we'll go for the Selenium and Cypress. Selenium is open source, and we are working with Java as a language. But for Cypress, we are using a JavaScript or TypeScript. So that is depends upon the client requirement. And for backend, we are using REST. And for performance testing, we are using JMeter. It's a open source. Again, it's a open source. And if they want a paid tool, then we can go for the Microsoft. Sorry, the low runner. We can use that.
Okay, so it sounds like we got it pretty well covered on the regression testing piece. Okay, fair enough.
Yes.
So most migration clients move, from desktop to web. Sometimes there's some challenges with the performance issues, maybe pre-optimization. So, what is our performance testing process?
Okay, so actually, this is a separate topic that we can discuss in another forum.
Hmm,
But high level, what we can do is we are using test JMeter. As I
right.
said, like for performance, we are using JMeter as a tool. It's open source. Okay, so first we need to analyze the requirement from the client side, and we need to establish the parameters. For example, we need to set the benchmark what we need to expect from the performance, right, from the client, and then we need to set the realized. For example, we can use the user loads we need to provide, and we can set the load testing, stress testing, and we need to get the actual results, and we need to give work with the developers and get the optimization done, and then again we need to validate whether the improvement has been done or not, and then finally we can provide the detailed report to the client that this is improved a lot. So that simple, that JMeter can be used for this particular case, what you're looking for.
All right. It's great that we use that tool. No, understood. Okay, we'll keep it going. So, it's been my experience that getting user acceptance testing feedback can take some time because clients are, obviously doing other things. Um, what are the steps that we take to assist clients through this UAT process?
Okay, what we will do is we will actually, once we complete our testing, we will share our release notes to them.
Hmm,
What are the testing we have completed? What modules going to be testing for yourself? So we will share that release notes along with we will give the demo to the application working. So based on that, they may get interest, and we make them involved in the planning the testing itself. For example, let's say in the daily, every week we have a meeting with them. So that will create a very curiosity to the client that the applications comes to us. So we need to test and we need to give proper feedback to them. So that would be a sign of for the UAT.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. This way, they know exactly what they're testing and had already seen what they're testing, on the demo that you had explained. So that should definitely help folks during that period. So that was a good. Okay. I'm going to open up the questions to the chat and for the folks to put those questions there. And we'll go ahead
Okay.
and give a few seconds there and then we'll answer them real time. So I'll go ahead and folks put your questions on the chat.
Okay.
Okay, question number one. What measures are taken to ensure that a QA team remains updated on the latest industry standards and best practices?
Okay, so this can be done with a continuous learning program,
Hmm,
and we can participate in the conference. Actually, we recently participated in many conference. For example, A we have a recent conference. We participated and with our team. Also, we have workshop internally. We have every week we have a 1 hour session with the team, and we will share our knowledge what we gain in the market trends. So that will give the latest information to them, as well as aggregate more information from our colleagues as well. So that is the major thing I'm thinking of.
All right, so information
Mm.
sharing amongst our peers and going out to network meetings and things of that nature and workshops
Sure.
definitely sounds like a great way to keep the knowledge as current as possible. So I appreciate that. Okay. So question number two, how do you ensure effective communication between QA and development teams?
Anyway, yes, so that also be really challenging, but
Yeah.
with regular meetings and scrum calls, and we have a Jira. Okay, so all the user stories will be documented there, so everything should be streamlined, and we have uh, we have a joint participate in all the meetings with client as well as the internal meetings to get clarified. Because our goal is to give a quality work at the end. So the clear communication, and we all the requirement should be all should understand what we are going to execute in the couple of next sprint. So that
Sure.
is the main I'm thinking of.
I know you had mentioned there's daily scrum meetings. So I'm sure that helps as well to make sure the communication is there. Okay. All right. Another question here. Good. How do you prioritize test cases during the test phase, during the testing phase?
So test case are prioritized based on some different factors like most probably we are using for the criticality of the module. We will address the most critical modules first. Then we will work on that the business impact. What will impact of the business? So that will address first, and the functionality dependency as well. So these are the main three areas we are looking for.
Okay, prioritizing it based on the critical, and then the impacts
Business
of how it
impact and
impacts the
yes.
system makes sense. Makes perfect sense. Okay, so we have another question here. The test cases will be regarding the whole project, but it will be 60 or 70%. So talking about the test cases.
No, we will cover all, or actually, we as per the requirement, we have a RTM requirement traceability metrics. So that will be traced from the requirement to the test cases. So we have a review phase there. So all the test cases will be maintained and get clarified from the BA, as well as we are sharing that to the client as well. So there will not be any issues that the test case is missing.
Okay, that makes sense. Can you explain once timeout exception?
Sorry, can you come back?
The question here is, can we explain once timeout exception?
Yes, timeout exception, we can handle it in the automation, Selenium
Hmm,
automation, which we have. So we can create a script and we can put a time out, wait time there. And we, if it is where failing in that particular timeline, we can assert that and we can make them fail.
okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's see, are there any other questions? Okay, I got another one here. Any resources or recommendations to learn more about AI or as QAs? Is there any recommendations?
So we have a number of learning portals in the online, even YouTube or other online portals. So everyone can work on that. So I can suggest they can go with certification, I guess, to QB. So they have the enough syllabus there if it is a proper platform. So they can go with that. Eureka is there.
Okay.
So a lot of online portal is there.
So now we got a question about regression. How frequently do you perform regression testing? What are the factors that can affect the cycle of regression testing?
So we will mostly will go with two regression with manual, and in automation we have only once because we have scripted in the sprint two. So our automation script will handle this regression testing.
Okay. All right. Are there any other questions here on the chat? Let's give it a minute here. Okay. I think we're okay with the questions. So I want to, Venkat, thank you so much for your expertise, right, in
Yep,
telling us
thank
all
you.
about your QA process. It was very detailed, right, and you showed us a lot of demos and looked like it got folks to think about some questions, which was great.
Yep.
Thanks, folks, for sending those chat questions. They were all very good. And we can even put some of that stuff on an email for answers. This way you have that in writing. So if there are any other questions or concerns that you have for folks that aren't thinking about questions right now, you can go ahead and contact me. Like I said, I'm Joe Rafanelli. My contact information should come up in a minute. We do hope what we shared was useful, right? We believe it was. But like I said, if you have any questions, you can give me a call. We can get them answered on a one-on-one basis, or we can get Venkat on a call as well. But for now, I want to thank everybody. Have a great new year, and we'll talk again in 2024. So thank you again. Take
Yep.
care all.
Thank you.